Take it as another sign that the pandemic is in a new stage. Illinois schools have been operating under pandemic state regulations and disaster proclamations. Education leaders today, though, focus their attention on the day those special orders will be lifted. Amanda Vinicky joins us now with more. Amanda.
Yeah, Brandis, with graduation, finals, for some prom, whether it be in person or virtual, all of those things on the immediate horizon, well, it's likely that a whole lot of students aren't quite ready to turn their attention already to the next school year. But the Illinois State Board of Education is, yes, already planning for fall, making the decision today with a vote to require all schools be fully in person for the 21 to 22 school year.
Although online classes are a far better option than no classes at all, multiple studies show that students learn best when present in person alongside their teachers, peers, and support network. That's especially true for children who struggle academically or who struggle with mental health.
According to the state's latest figures from earlier this month, the majority of students are currently doing a blend of in-person and remote learning. Roughly 420,000, you can see that in the lime green bar, are fully in person. But come next year, a declaration from State School Superintendent Carmen Ayala means that school hallways won't be empty anymore. Now, there are limited exceptions. The resolution explicitly calls for remote instruction being made available to students who are not eligible for a COVID vaccine and who are under a potential quarantine order by the state or local health department, if there is one. Now, ISB made this decision despite protestations from parents like a West Aurora mom whose third grader's immune system doesn't function properly.
Making a broad decision to push all schools back to 5 days a week without widespread student vaccination for elementary students is premature. My students will both be vaccinated as soon as they possibly can. However, my youngest might not hold the vaccine himself. He and other students with health issues need widespread vaccine distribution in schools to be safe.
She says that her son, under ISB's rules, would qualify for being able to continue to learn virtually, but she says his classmates wouldn't. She says that her family has been incredibly isolated for some 432 days, and online learning is her son's lifeline to normalcy.
Having friends on the other side of the screen is the only thing keeping him engaged in school right now. We've been incredibly isolated for the last 432 days. This decision would further isolate children with health issues. Please allow students who are not old enough to be vaccinated to remain virtual for any reason.
Several members of the board also expressed reservations and concerns. Board member Donna Leake is also the superintendent of District 168 out of Sauk Village.
We're going to have to do a lot of work to help schools be able to really know that we're doing the right thing, that we're following CDC, we're following Department of Public Health, and that it's reasonable. If I'm a high school soup and you tell me I got to bring everybody back and they have to be 3 feet apart, I don't have the space to do that.
Now, at one point, Leak even suggested changing the language. So instead of mandating a return to schools, it would encourage schools, saying that they should return to in-person learning. But that suggestion got shut down, with ISBE staff saying that that would only cause more confusion. They say a big reason that ISB wanted to take a vote on this requirement now is so that school administrators have time to make staffing and budget decisions, and it also helps families with their own planning. Now, there is no mandate that students get the COVID vaccine, though Superintendent Ayala says ISB does encourage it. She says that the state is going to provide plentiful guidance to schools, with public health guidance evolving, the situation evolving generally, and that's going to continue over the summer. Now, all of this, as the future of certain students who attend private schools is also in flux. Illinois is 3 academic years into a program that allows individuals and businesses to donate to a private school scholarship fund for low-income students. And then in exchange, these donors can get a tax credit worth 75% of what they gave. Governor J.B. Pritzker, in his proposed budget, wants to bring that tax credit down to 40%. Advocates of the program, like the head of the scholarship granting organization Empower Illinois, he says that that would dissuade the small donors who are the lifeblood of the scholarship program and depend on that tax credit. And he says that potentially means that students could lose their scholarships.
So certainly what's proposed currently is we do consider an existential threat to the program. But I will also take the governor at his word, saying he wants to find a way to not cut scholarships. And so I think there's room there for a conversation. Certainly the 22,000 scholarship recipients over the past 3 years, the many tens of thousands more who want these, their voices are being heard, and we hope that we can bring that to the table.
Pritzker also recommending that other tax credits be done away with as part of the budget plan. And so look for all of that to be in heated negotiations these next couple of weeks in Springfield. Back to you guys in the studio.
Amanda, thank you.